All right. Hi, Beck.
Hey, it's good to see you, John. Welcome,
Good to see you
listeners.
too. Okay. What do corn dogs, your dad's classic rock station, and current Gen Z fashion all have in common? I'll get to the answer for you. It's nostalgia. I think it's a through line through all of this. And that's what we're going to talk about today, how nostalgia plays in our lives in more ways than we think. And it looks like you've got some ideas of why this is not a bad thing and we should embrace this. Um,
Yes.
where do you want to start?
With my rabbit hole brain, and when you asked that, before I got to the third of Gen Z, I was like, short shorts at a carnival beach. I don't know. That's where my brain was going. Of kindergarten camp out. Where are we going with this? Like, what is dad? Yeah. So
Can I
thank
explain
you.
what I mean by this?
Yes, please.
So music, like I don't know the exact study, but the music that we listen to in our teens is what we tend to listen to throughout the rest of our life. Or it holds, at a minimum, holds a very special place,
Yes.
right? And people will come back to that. I come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of my dad's classic rock station and many other dads of cars that I was in when I was growing up. And then hot dogs, nostalgia and food,
So good.
I think are so connected and it prompts nostalgia. And this is also kind of a call out at my wife. She loves corn dogs, and I don't think it's because of the taste. I think it's because it takes her to the county fair having a corn dog at a certain time in her life. And
That's
then
my
Gen
country
Z
girl. She
fashion.
gets it. She gets
That's
it.
right. She's at an FFA event at the county fair. She's just won Best in Show or whatever it's called,
Yes.
and
Yes.
she's getting a corn dog. And then Gen Z fashion. I mean, this is just it feels like the current fashion trends are lifted directly from whatever 2000s fashion magazine was out there. Whether it's
Yeah.
like the baggy pants, a la Jinkos, whether it's the graphic t-shirts. So I think that's my through line through all those things.
I love that. Some of my students are rocking the giant, like, wolf head with a moon, like the blue corn moon, and or
Yep.
the giant animals, orcas, whatever it is. Those are back, to your point.
Yeah.
So you're
I
not
was had one of those as late
no.
as like 2017 and it was just weird. So if I just held on to it longer, I would have been right back. I would have been so on trend. And it's such a shame that I got rid of that.
I feel like that's maybe for many of us. And then
Yeah.
had I been it 5 years later or 20 years before. So, going into nostalgia, this idea of journey that takes us to the past so that we can reflect, review, enjoy, share company, and then come back out of it. I want to put this out there for everyone listening. When we go into a place of nostalgia and we can't come out of it, that's called rumination in counseling. That is the danger. That's the shadow side of nostalgia. So I want to put it out there. That does exist. However, the beauty of it is most of the time is that bittersweet journey of like, oh, remember the old days. Oh, remember life before technology. Oh, remember, I'm not too wild, right? Our name is Wild and Well Together. Most of my life has been more well than wild, but we'll call it what it is. I've had some wild moments. I am so grateful that they were not documented on a cell phone or that my growing up, my maturity was not documented on a video. I am so grateful for that. And I would just want to acknowledge it and shout out to our teens and those in your young 20s, our Gen Zers who have had to walk that because it is a different childhood and growing up than the rest of us millennials and older. And so I put that plug in. There's a shadow side. We're not going to go into that. If you need supports in trauma, if you need supports in childhood struggles and pains, there's healing for you. Please hear me say that. Today is the fun side of it, the nostalgia. So that way you can get to know John and I and some of the purposes behind having healthy reminiscing of the past to then bring us and show us, hey, where are we going to the future and what made me who I am. So with no further ado, what is unpopular opinion this week, John? Where are you coming in from?
Well, two things. Before I get to the unpopular opinion, I
Hey.
just want to the feature behind me is the lock desk. It remains locked. I have not been able to get into it yet. And I have a lock picking set coming today. So I'm looking to add this to my skill set. Um, going to do my best Ocean's 11 impression. This is the key that doesn't work. The skeleton key that ain't doing its thing.
I can't wait
So
to see what
I'm
happens.
hoping next time we're together that that I'm into my desk. We'll see.
I hope you
Anyway,
find, like, this Easter egg that's $1,000 that
a time capsule from
golden
like 2 weeks
ticket.
ago. Yeah, it's like when you go into the closet and you put on a coat you haven't worn since last winter and you find a $20 bill. I'm hoping that happens in my desk that I haven't been in a week.
Makes me feel like I win a Ferrari. I realize $20 is very different than a Ferrari.
Yeah.
However, put $5 in my pocket. I'm gonna I'm gonna have Nick plant those for me just to give me little life lifts. But
It's like hitting a scratcher, you know? And you
yes,
can give this gift to yourself with a little bit of forethought. I
yeah.
should do more
And
of
then
that.
it's cash. So maybe we're getting too much into my personal life, but joint checking accounts, banking
Yeah.
accounts. And so then I get $20 to use how I want.
Free money.
Free money. It's like it
Free
doesn't even
money.
exist. All right.
Okay, so
Well,
my unpopular opinion as it
wait,
relates
wait,
to
wait, wait.
nostalgia. Okay,
For
go ahead.
all the
Yeah.
listeners, we are ready to hear next week, fingers crossed, how you Ocean's 11 that bad boy and what treasures, Cheetos, papers, bills are found in your treasure box.
I will leave out what expletives are used to open it in the process too. Because I
No
don't
doubt.
think this is going to be a smooth first attempt. We'll see.
And I hope you don't ruin it.
That too. That too. Okay, so my unpopular opinion as it relates to nostalgia is that most people's favorite food isn't because it's the food they actually think tastes best now, but it's the feeling that the food gives them due to nostalgia, and it takes them to a place in time that many of us out there need to reevaluate what our favorite food is based on these circumstances and partition them. What was it? What did it used to be? Or what is comfort food versus all-time favorite food? A living example of this is my wife. So putting Miriam on blast here, but there are definitely certain foods. My dad too. Pizza, Rotel, like Rotel dip. There's 4 or 5 others that I could rattle off. Is that really your favorite food? Or is it just the feeling it gives you when you indulge?
So good. I have those. Actually, though, around holidays, for sure that's true. How do I feel during a regular Thursday? I think yes. Well, so I'm the cook, and I make some decent meals every day. When Nick is out of town, the kids don't care what they eat, so I'm like, "It's cereal night, y'all," and I revert back,
Yeah.
and Rice Krispies is my jam, but it's always been my jam, so I think you're onto something here.
I think the cereal big cereal's onto this. The cereal's a 20-year play. Like, you have to get some traction, and then it comes back in 20 years as as those people have disposable income to go buy cereal. That's just wait it out. It starts like this, dips, and then picks back up.
I love that.
100% cereal
I
is a nostalgia food.
Yeah.
So Rice Krispies for you? That's one of
Yeah,
my
Rice
top 3.
Krispies is my go-to. Cheerios, Rice Krispies, I'm kind of a plain Jane in that. What
No, I
about you? Cereal?
love a Honey Nut Cheerios. I mean, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is, if I'm not driving, you know?
Yeah. There you go.
It's a
Bowl 2, 3,
splurge.
4, stop me now.
Yeah. Uh, nice.
Alright, let's go into this then. We started to talk about food.
Yeah.
Again, nostalgia brings us to a place where we can remember things of the past and then come back out of it and say, like, "Oh, how do I find grounding? How do I find meaning? How do I find purpose now?" And it's a fun way to do it. So I want you to bring either one nostalgic drink, snack, or toy. I want you to describe it in its entirety, its taste, your reaction to it, and the moment or the memory that it unlocks. What is that for you?
Well, naturally, I went to a food, um, and I I had to look up the name of these. I didn't know what the name was. I just know how they make me feel. Ritz Ritz Handy Snacks. You know what these are?
Do they have cheese
As
or
I
peanut
describe
butter in
it, you
them?
will. So
Okay.
it's yeah, it's the plastic package that has on one side the Ritz crackers we all know and love, and actually the square ones, the rectangular ones. So it's not the round Ritz. And on the other side is cheese. And the experience and my experience is as follows. You peel back the plastic and they've got this part right. You're able to grab it pretty easily, which I appreciate. That is not the case all the time. You peel it back and that cheese, that like yellowish orange cheese is sitting there shiny as like a freshly Zambonied ice rink, okay? It's just glistening,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
right? And it's typically like pushed to one side of the little plastic bowl that it's in, and there's an air bubble on one side. And then you pick up the trusty red paddle. By the way, these were the first culprit before straws, I'm pretty sure. Before we got on the straw bender, I think the plastic red paddle was probably outlawed.
I
And you pick
forgot.
up the paddle and you dip into the cheese. The first dip is obviously the best. It's like dipping in the peanut butter. By the way, taking a step back, you're likely in like outdoors somewhere. So you're either at lunch outside. Even better, you're on a field trip, which is why this is in your lunch in the first place. Could be at Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, whatever it may be. And then the your system about using the cheese says a lot about you. Okay. Do you work from side to side? Do you work in layers, top down, or do you just attack it like a psychopath? I shouldn't use that.
Oh, we know where you
What is the
stand.
right term for
Okay, we
that?
know where John stands. Unpopular opinion. Do not grab it that way if they still exist.
Really, honestly, like that was probably more my speed anyway. So I'm throwing stones. I live in a glass house, but the strategy, I think the dare I say universal truth here is that the strategy was to maximize the cheese to cracker ratio across all the crackers. Okay. And then furthermore, the letdown was if you got broken crackers, that was a bad batch. You got broken crackers. So you had to you had to treat that handle with care when those things go in the lunchbox or the bag because you don't want broken crackers. You want to be able to do a nice uniform spread across a perfectly rectangular cracker. So that takes me back. I haven't had one in 20 years at least.
I was gonna say,
And
do they still exist?
I don't I I haven't seen them and this maybe means to go down like an eBay rabbit hole and find something. I'm sure their expiration date is a good 50 years out from when they were produced.
Because you know what's back is Furbies. I never had a Furby. My sister had a Furby. She was much cooler than me. Do you remember those little talking things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my nieces now have them. Okay, unpopular opinion, I was actually not about those, but I'm not gonna act like I was better than you. I loved a
No.
good Cheese Whiz. I loved a good nacho cheese from the stadium, right? High school stadiums, the
Yeah.
wherevers. I still do. So I like my fully processed cheese. Please hear me say that.
Mhm.
Those weren't mine, but my brother got down on those, like loved, loved, loved those. So that I
Oh,
hadn't thought
see
about that,
that?
and I hadn't thought about the scoop since you just shared that.
That there's something there too. If there's a snack as a kid that you like that your siblings don't like, that's like rare earth because that means that's just your allocation. You don't have to
Yeah.
beat them to it.
Okay, this is not a food channel, but today it's a food channel.
Yeah, right?
No,
The
I
food
appreciate
takeover.
that.
How about you?
I'm gonna go into the toy section of the '90s. Do you remember that? Like, bop it. You could had 3, you could pull it, you could twist
Yes.
it, you could bop it. I didn't have one. Shout out to my best friend of the time, Barbara. I don't know where you are in the world, but I
Hey,
hope so
Barbara.
much good into you and into your life. She and her sister had one, and I thought that they were so cool because it would be like her older sister had one. So we'd be hanging out as friends and we'd be the little siblings that were like, "Can we try? Can we try?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, but hold on." And then they'd like do it and you can hit, 40 points or whatever. I don't know. Like you
Yeah.
keep building and building and then the winner comes. And I would never win. And so I have this like hood dream of going the farthest with it. And it's an what would it be called? Unresolved childhood
Totally.
dream. So my little girl still dreams to, hey, can I do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Bop it.
That I had the same experience. I could not get down the street with those things. Like, I couldn't get past the first 3.
Yeah.
So,
So
I have
again,
feelings of inadequacy when I think of those.
all right, we're coming back into the good.
Back into the good. Totally, though.
See, but that's the reality, right? Like some of the things, some of the nostalgic moments for some people, like get me out of there. Like that is not fun for me. I have music that hits to the core, whereas I'm sure other people are like, what? That either reminds me of breakup or these ballads. I loved a good boy band growing up. I loved all these different music and
Yeah, give me
genres.
3,
These three. Oh man. First ones that come to mind. Bye bye bye. We'll give
of
that one.
course.
Bop, since we're talking about it,
Hanson, yep.
and I Wanna Dance with Someone by Whitney Houston. That's my karaoke song. I am a
Nice.
terrible singer, but add enough drinks into the audience, and I will crush that, and it's good at inviting audience members in, so love a good Whitney Houston too.
Definitely. The nostalgia in your preferred karaoke song, you get 25 points just with that, if you strike at the core of people's nostalgia.
For sure.
My 3, these are not karaoke, but nostalgic music or artists.
Yep.
Ace of Base takes you to my oldest sister's room in the mid-90s. Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I haven't listened
yeah,
to Ace of Base in 20 years.
yeah. And then fast forward a few years, The Wallflowers and Matchbox 20. I could
Match
take me straight to my other sister's room a few years down the line.
I love
And
that.
there's artists that I still listen to from back then, but I don't consider them nostalgic because it doesn't hit the same. Whereas if I hear those songs from those artists, I'm taken right back to a specific place in my house with my siblings.
Yes. There's 2 that does that for me, and Nickelback would be one.
Oh, nice. Look at this photograph.
Yes. So that's fun, and then on the other side is Nelly, which will just hold those spaces for both. Like, I hear it and I'm like, "I'm back to middle school. Here we
Yeah.
go." So,
You've got St. Louis roots, so I'm sure Nelly just
I need my
hit in a
Band-Aid.
different way. The Band-Aid. You felt tempted to wear the Band-Aid one day.
I did, I wish I was cool enough to. This is
Oh,
so good
man.
though, and thank you for coming into this space because this is what nostalgia does to us. It allows us to reminisce and to connect. And so in a world where we feel so or I'll speak for myself, where I often feel isolated and siloed by technology and I'm not trying to throw shade at technology, that's not what I'm saying. However, in my addiction to technology, I often have to unplug. And this is a really fun way to unplug and to say, "Oh, remember when I wasn't just looking at a screen all the time and I was listening to music. I was playing in the streets with the kids. I was eating food that who cares if it puts an extra pound or 2 on my sides," right? Some of those things where it was wild and free in a beautiful way, in an innocent way, and I'm so grateful for that, and I think that's a beautiful piece of nostalgia for us is to say, "Oh, remember when?" And even for you and I, like, I still have seared in my brain being brave to invite you over. And for all of those of you listening, I'm not that country. I grew up in the suburbs, 2 streets away, a neighborhood away from John. However, I grew up with horses, and we'd say my dad was business during the week, cowboy on the weekends. And so it'd get back to some of our country roots. My parents are from the Midwest. And so one day you came over, and I don't know if we were first, second, third grade, and we did bean art. Do you
Oh, yeah.
remember that? And
Certainly.
I think that, like, is glued into my memory as I, like, think about gluing the beans onto the page because that is a weird thing to ask a friend, like, in adulthood, if I was like, "Hey, come on over, we're doing bean art," right? Like,
We got
I
a
don't
we got a great activity. Come on over.
yeah, I have enough quality humans that may say yes, but every single kid in the neighborhood would be like, "I'm in, I'm in, I'm in." And so it brings me to this, like, innocent childlike piece that I know we all need that says, "Hey, I'm not gonna get rejected. I'm gonna have a shared experience." And actually, I remember doing that, and so it brings me to a place of peace in the here and now. And so I love that even for our mental health. You know me, I'll bring mental health into this in different ways anytime I can to remind people how good life can be when we come into the present moment. So, getting to know us more, can we go back in, or do you have a thought there?
Well, I would just say that on the day the bean art was made, was supposed to catch the bus to go to your house, and I was used to walking home. I missed the bus. There was panic. I don't know what I eventually got there, and the bean art just hit even better because like, great, we got an activity now. So yes, I remember that absolutely. We talked about with friends, this subject of conversation. Sometimes it gets heated, or it's a divisive topic. This is a reminder, this conversation, that this is a great way to connect with your close friends and not be talking about the mundanity of the week or the routine or
So
logistics. Is to prompt them with what is a food or a toy that is most nostalgic for you, because you and I had different answers, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. And even perhaps even better if I weren't, is like, wait a second, you grew up with this thing? What was that? I didn't know that. You got to explain that to me. So I
Yeah.
think that going through these questions together is fun, and it takes taking me out of whatever I was thinking about before this, which was getting into this desk. Honestly, is just how I
That
get
pee,
into my locked desk.
which was highly stressful, and your cortisol levels were spiking. And
Yeah,
so glad
yeah.
that Cheese Whiz and all the other fun Ritz snacks can bring you
Hmm.
back into a space of peace. So shout out to that. No, that's beautiful. I think I wasn't even thinking about that coming in. However, that is a very practical application that I'm going to take away from this is from this list that we go through of bringing up nostalgia, bringing up some fun this or thens, this or that, like, and just going, tell me about this because that actually moves the needle far more than the political stance that I have, any other thing that's an institution to just say, hey, I see you and I feel you see me and I can trust that us laughing together is actually going to bridge us rather than separate us. And then we can go back and do the hard of engaging with those other things at another time. But for now, like, let's meet on this level.
It also gets whoever you're talking with to talk about the thing they know most, which is themselves, right?
Yeah.
And gets them to come out of their shell to share more about themselves.
Look at you as the expert in the room.
Yeah, move on over, Becca.
I love that. Yes, because we are. We are experts of our life. And when we take a moment to like back and actually say, hey, how am I operating? What have I learned? Where have I come from? It's really beautiful to see and fun to see. So, all right, rapid fire. Here we go. We are going to say whether it's better then or now.
Okay, all
Music.
right. Then,
I'm saying the past. Then
mhm, then
vacations.
I try not to overcomplicate this, but then
Okay, I would say now, but that's only because I have more money than what I did then, and so I get to pick some. Although, let's talk about it. Road trips with my family, beach, like the ones that we did, the lakes. Those are so sweet. You're right. The childhood memories there.
I what's
This is
informing
not
my
rapid
answer is
fire, but
that with
that's
3
okay.
kids, a vacation just feels like a trip where you're parenting elsewhere.
Okay.
So, but I see your point, absolutely. I think
Uh, if anyone has babysitting skills, let's offer that to John and Miriam. That way they can get a vacation away.
hit me up.
Homeboy needs it. Look at his face.
Yes.
I will
Yes.
pay for you to fly out and be with them, and we just need to know your background, okay? Can you keep 3
S
kids
s
alive?
I'll stick with my answer, but I also think on the vacation front, there there is so much more information about how to get the most out of a place that you go to these days, so I can totally get down with that answer as
Yeah.
well.
This is
Yeah.
rapid fire gone really slow, really quick. Friendships, then or now?
I think now,
Okay. I I think that's just different. I know that's kind of a politically correct answer, that's how I'm trying to do. I I
pick a
have deep
lane.
friendships from the past, and I also had the severing, where I only stay in touch with just very few.
Yeah.
And so and not from a negative standpoint, but I think of childhood friends and their beautiful relationships. And then somewhere in some time, they evolved, and now I have some deep roots to adulthood friends, and so that's when I have some really good memories. All right, technology, then or now?
I think now. I
That's not a
there's so
bad
many
thing to think now.
there's so many different ways. Yes, addiction to technology, but I'm not one of these techno pessimists. I believe that technology in practical ways makes our lives better.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
so with you, like, the fact that you and I can even do this, I've
Yeah,
been writing you pen pal, "Hey, pen pal, how are you and the wifey?" And you would have
yeah,
responded 2 weeks from now.
exactly. We wouldn't be arguing over which phone line to be using in my house and vice versa in your house to have this
You remember
conversation.
that? Dial up
Yeah.
to get on the internet?
Use line 2. Line 1 is the primary number.
My dad picked I saw this seared into my brain. One of my friends calls, and this is 10 o'clock on a Friday night. I played soccer competitively, and so I was in bed, thank goodness, because I had an early morning game. I'm in late middle school, early high school, because this is when the friend would have been a really good friend at that time. He calls and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Harder, is Becca there?" And my dad is like, "She better be here." Meanwhile, I had just hung up the phone on them because I was like, "I don't want to get in trouble." And so I was like, shh, 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 like pretending to be asleep. But it's still seared in my brain because I'm like, one, oh my goodness, if I wouldn't have been there, I wouldn't have been out anywhere for the next 2 years. And if I wouldn't have pretended to be asleep. I would have totally spilled the beans that I would stay up late chatting on the phone, which my parents probably knew, let's call it what it is. But I remember that distinctly. So, technology is awesome. I have great memories. There is some sweetness of not having a phone on us all the time. However, technology now, for sure.
Yeah, if I could pluck just one piece of technology from back then, it would be the clear landline phone where you could see all the internal components.
You are such a
Can we
nerd,
bring
and
that,
I love
please? Let's bring that back.
love that. Can I tell you that and please hear me say, this is not me dogging on me. I speak confidently on my intellectual abilities. When it comes to that, I cannot tell you what 2 of those components would do and how they would connect and what circuit it would create. I don't know, physics and all of that is genius, pure geniuses to me. So,
Yeah,
but very
same.
cool to
I just
see.
see a lot of cool colors and patterns, and
Shapes.
I'm like, "That thing is awesome."
I forgot about that. I love that. All right,
Yeah.
dating, then or now?
Oh, now, for sure. Back to
Yeah.
there's no word for bad nostalgia, but less cringe these days, okay?
Okay, I will say that, but I think it's because you found your special one, so you have fun dating her. I
True.
think those that have to use apps, I give you mad props because both of us are married to incredible human beings, and I'm very grateful that that happened. I know apps work for some. I also think about myself and I'm like, oh, shoot, I would have been on 45 different dates just so I could get free meals, experience, and all that. Or I would have been like, I'm going to be celibate the rest of my life. It was either one or the other. I didn't use apps, so I can say that. But that's the one piece with dating now where I'm like, no, my husband knows this. Take me on a date or let me take you on a date. Let's go do life together as opposed to just like, hey, how's it going? So that's my
I
shout
would
out of,
like to revise my answer. Absolutely, then. I cannot agree with you more. The qualification that goes into the apps and the runaround where you chemistry chemistry is like I just find out hard to believe that it's really made in an app and it's done and then it's followed through in person, but I know
yeah.
plenty of people that have met on them, so
Yeah.
this is my personal bias coming out.
And
Maybe I
I'm the
just don't
same.
have online game. That's really what it comes down to. I need to meet you in a bar or at whatever, a
Yeah.
coffee shop or
Yeah.
um, somewhere cool. Yeah,
I've seen your game and you landed the best that you could. So she's awesome. So it worked out for you. And I'm fully agreeing with you also that I'm just going to call it out. We may lose followers here, but it is what it is. Men, take someone out on a date. Women, take someone out on a date. Go, do, experience. It's worth it. Be brave. Choose to be brave. We use that phrase in our house often. Go out. And for those of us married,
absolutely.
find time to do the same thing. So that's across the board, all ages. Go out, do something fun. Putt putt for all I care. Go do something. All right. Family dinners. Now or then? Can I share
Hey,
mine? Full transparency.
go.
I would
Yeah,
much rather be the child than the parent having to parent. I am tapped out of family dinners.
absolutely.
I believe in them. I believe in them. I believe in them. I am tapped out. We've used this phrase before from saying knees or bottom, knees or bottom.
Yeah,
Oh, come back. Are we done? Oh, 3 more bites. Oh, is your belly full? Right? Like all those things, or even just putting it on the plate and then be like, I'm not hungry. And it's the debate of do I put energy towards this or do I not? And so
yeah.
there's many fun times that we have together. However, coming into this conversation in this season of life, knowing that I have to go make dinner after you and I are done chatting, I'm like, let me be the kid. Maybe I need to do that tonight as the adult. We'll see.
I could not agree more. Trying to pick, you know, I I'm done being a short order cook. We now cook one thing,
Yes.
and the negotiation to eat said food that's prepared. It's ongoing. It's heated, and the number of times I say, "Get your butt in your seat" or something to that effect
Yeah.
is too much to count. There's this sweet spot, I think, when kids are of a certain age where you don't have to prompt them with as much of that stuff,
Yeah.
where I think dinners get really fun.
Yeah.
That's my memory of them. At least I'm hopeful we'll get through these days of authoritarian adversaries across the table at a family dinner to actually talking about the day or different different topics. So I'm looking forward to it.
I love that. Next week, we talk about life hacks. John has a ton that are awesome. And so next week's life hacks, I'm excited to hear that from you, John. And also some of these things of even having a family dinner is a life hack to cohesion in the household.
Yeah.
And then within the family dinner of you saying, hey, I'm not a short order cook. Sit down. Here's your plate. Enjoy it. So that's a little preview for next week. But I appreciate you saying that because those are practical, applicable tools. All right. Coming back to this, I want us to remember share nostalgia builds connection. Contrast sparks curiosity. So it's good that we have differing opinions. It allows us, like you said in the beginning, to think through, oh, what did I just learn from John? Or, oh, I never thought about that. Humor regulates the nervous system. So this idea of us laughing together, it brings down our cortisol levels. It allows us to have dopamine hits and serotonin levels to rise. And we come into a place of like, oh, life isn't so hard. Or at least for this moment, it's not. And we don't even really actually have to think in the meta. We just get to do. And that's a really sweet season for us in adulthood. Healthy dialogue can be modeled through this, right? We talked about that in a previous one of at a dinner table, I say the sky is blue and someone else is like, how dare you? The sky is gray. And usually it's on politics or it's on something else. When in actuality, this is us disagreeing on topics. And yet we do it in a way that doesn't hold so much weight or doesn't shame. And then the fifth one is that nostalgia reawakens joy. We're all kids. Like at the end of the day, we're just older kids. We need that joy. And I think there's an arc to life. I don't know any studies on this. I could look into them. But we have such joy filled lives in the beginning. And if we do it right, we kind of lose that for a while. Hopefully then we can gain it back. And then there's some really happy elderly people. And I don't know their reasons, but they've also experienced, like we think about our elders, they're World War II, they're Vietnam, they're Korean War. There's so much life had. There's the 60s through race and all those different things. And then to come into the here and now of learning technology as a 70-year-old, 80-year-old, 90-year-old, right? Like those are hard things. And yet some of them find so much joy and they can reminisce like no one else. And so just as coming back to that reminder of, hey, how can we find time to find joy, to create joy, to bring that out in others?
Absolutely. And this is fun because you can do it with anyone. You can
Yeah.
have these conversations with your spouse, with friends, people at coworkers, and it
Yes.
transports me to a different time and place and definitely shakes whatever frame of mind I was in prior to the conversation. Can I want to pose a question to our listeners. No, I want you to do 60 seconds to center, but I am curious. I want to know what's in your Walkman. So what if you had to put one thing in your Walkman, what is it? I know we can answer with it's a mix, but everyone mix is different. So you have to go back in time. What's in your Walkman?
That is so
Chime in, let us know.
look at me, you've brought me into that space of I even remember let's pull the CD out. I remember writing those down on Sharpies, like, and I'd be like, "Oh, these 3 are country, so they're green. These 2 are rap, they're pink." I'm in it with you. I am in it with you.
Or remember when the Walkman that was the exciting invention was that you didn't have to hold it like up vertical, like or horizontal rather. It's like
Yeah,
check this out. You
yeah.
can like turn it upside down. You can turn it vertical. It still plays. It's like wow.
So good.
Sony is too good to us. They figured this
Okay,
one out.
so good. So mixtapes, Walkman, what was the music playing?
Yeah. Let's hear it. What's on your Walkman?
I'm gonna listen to some of those tonight. That is so I mean, I don't have them anymore, but I'm gonna go on Spotify and find some of those old school songs and just sit in it because I am there with you.
Yeah.
All right, 60 seconds to centered. The question is, how does nostalgia show up in your body? Is it warm? Is it heavy? Is it expansive? Is it in a smile? Is it in the head? Just coming to this place of, oh, nostalgia, how do I relate to that? And then us taking a deep breath in and saying, thank you for the life that I've lived. And then us exhaling. And again, inhaling, thank you for the life that I've lived. And exhaling out. Last one is thank you for the life that I've lived and exhaling out. and then we come back to our breath. And the reason that we do that, we talked about gratitude last week, and gratitude is hard. And often we don't have tools. And it's like, oh, I can write 3 things down, but what are all these other tools? And nostalgia is a bridge to gratitude because it reminds us of where we've been and how we've made it through. And so coming into that space of laughter, laughter, laughter is so good for the soul. And then also coming to a conscientious, oh, I can do this. I can show up for work tomorrow, even if I don't want to. I can call that person I've been meaning to for the last month. I can go ahead and face that conversation I don't want to have. I can ask that girl on the date that I've been wanting to, but I'm too scared. Whatever it may be, coming to a place of I can do this because I've done it before. So thank you all. John, so fun to be with you. And I am so grateful for the
Yeah,
last 30 years. All right. Be
I
well,
know.
y'all.
More to come here. All right.